Whoa, this is the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I'm down here at Zuma Beach. Brought my clients down to the beach today. And I was sitting there and I was listening to a Noel Kramer interview, and I'll put the link to it down below. And as I'm listening to him, I haven't listened to him in a couple years, right? Boom, it hit me like a sledgehammer. I forgot to remember. I've been forgetting to remember the infinite power of who I am as an individual. And that's the thing that it dawned on me, because I was driving home a couple nights ago and I didn't have that Buck Rogers feel. Like normally when I'm cruising around on Spaceship Earth, it's pretty fantastical. Like I'm fully aware that I'm in 2016, like full on science fiction movie. I mean, with the phones and the cars and the drones and all of it, man, right? So I was driving home and I realized I hadn't been occupying that sort of far out futuristic space that I like to occupy. And I was wondering why, because I was driving down the canyons and I'm overlooking all of LA. And, LA, when you're coming down the canyons, looks like some sort of crazy spaceship on its own, right? And so I'm tripping out why it's not fantastic, like kind of blowing my mind. And then I was listening to Noel Kramer today and I forgot to remember. That's what it is. I became, instead of a director of the movie of my life, I became a participant in the movie of my life. I forgot I'm creating this whole thing. I'm not just participating in it. This is my whole dream. And I've been doing my thing as I've grown. I go to my shop, I do my art, I have the baby, but I forgot the true nature of the power of who I am as a spiritual being, to create and change the matrix, right? To reinsert new code into the mainframe. And as I'm listening to Noel Kramer, he talks a lot about the action is where the mundane is, right? And most people want to have this fantastical experience, but forget that it's right in the moment of us washing dishes or pumping gas or, putting on our pants in the morning or brushing our teeth, that if you look at it from the right kind of perspective, man, this is so far out, dude. What is going on Spaceship Earth? And again, I can only talk about it from my perspective, from my life, because my life's journey is unique. Though it's not special, so to speak. I mean, there's 7 billion of us doing these unique journeys. So by default, the human experience isn't that special. That's the wrong word to use. What I'm trying to say is, man, there's a lot of people doing it, but do they know they're doing it? And I fully just was listening to Noel Kramer and I was like, I forgot to remember. I have fully forgotten to remember that this is my dream, my reality. And I was thinking about it the other day too. It's funny how all these thoughts sort of accumulate. I was like, I haven't set any goals for myself. And I mean fantastical goals. When we first started doing these videos 5 years ago or so, one of my things was I wanted to go to Chile and go surfing down in South America. I did that. Surfed in Indonesia. So I need to reset some new goals for myself that are far out, that are a little bit adventuresome. And look, one of my goals still is I want to go to Mongolia. I've always wanted to go to Mongolia for some reason, to see the land of Genghis Khan, to see the steppes. and to go check out Mongolia. That's a goal of mine, man. I want to go to Mongolia, dude. I also want to go surf the sandy point breaks of Mexico, the right point breaks of Mexico. Man, I need to go on a surfing trip, but I want to go to Mexico, man, because I think that's relatively affordable and the waves pump down there. So I want to go on a surfing trip to Mexico. I think ultimately, like, I need to move the Rainbow Mountain headquarters further up the coast of California or New Zealand, somewhere like that. I need to get further away from the urban grid. I really like Big Sur. Maybe I want to move to Big Sur. There it is. I'm putting that in the dream matrix right now. And I can do all this with creation, right? So what else do I want for the dream? I really want to be given full-blown conscious contact with God's answer to educating my children, right? Like, Al's never going to a public school, man. And it just, the more you look into it, the more you're crazy to send your kid to a public school. So I have to have some divine intervention to figure out how I'm going to educate my children. And the minigram too, man. Like, I'll get into that in a different video, but like, she's a great kid, man, but she needs some real, like, intellectual power to come into her being. And then, so, you know, I look at that, you know, I was listening to this kid, I think maybe I need to have some property, dude, where I can, like, be of service to other people, use some property to, like, really, like, grow my own organic fruits and vegetables and food. I wouldn't mind growing a little bit of livestock. Yeah, we'll put that out there in the dream too. Some livestock, man. You know what are cool? Sheep. You can eat them, but you can also make clothes out of them if you don't eat them. You know, it's one of those things. Like, it's like a clothes factory that in a pinch you can eat, but you grow to love your sheep, man. But, you know, I wouldn't mind having my own chickens and some goats, dude. Maybe a couple horses roaming around, you know. I'd really like to ride a horse to a surf spot. That would be great, like Ramon Navarro does down in Pichilimu. But, so, there's that aspect. And, you know, I really want to find, like, a blossoming success in my art, right? Like, the art thing's been cruising along pretty well, man. Like, it's actually been like a sustaining force in my life lately. So I think I need to really free myself more to pursue my artistic goals, man. I've been sort of a little bit hemmed in with it, but I stay consistent at it. I think I want to write another book. There it is, man. I'm due to write another novel. I want to write another novel. I think you gotta have 10 things, right? It's a list of 10. I want to get super, like, fit. This back thing kind of jammed me up. And you know what, man? I want to go skate all right. I want to do this. I want to do a tour of all the DIY skate parks, starting at the Burnside. I want to tour the whole country and see all the DIY skate parks. I want to go on a big, huge skating tour of the country with the family, with the minigram and the owl and the hologram, and just go see America. I want to show them America, man. And I had to just boom, like a light bulb went off, man. I was listening, I forgot to remember, dude. I forgot to remember, man. I am the author of this dream of mine. So I'm super fired up. I got to turn off the video here because one of my clients is walking over here and I can't let him know that this is what I do, but I'm not babysitting him. Late.